now that you can see the system that in how we create discovery, trust, capture, and conversion, there's one thing that makes this whole engine actually work. The right system with the wrong message still won't convert. So let's talk about the backbone of the audience growth formula.
So before we get into this, if content has been your struggle bus, type content help in the chat, because this is what's going to help you out with that.
Yeah, and let's not forget to give some extra shout outs to our live streamers. I see Lynn. Lynn's out there, and Diane, Shirley, David, Patricia. Thanks for all your guys' comments too. All right, so let's start here. Content is the backbone of your entire audience growth formula. Because without content, you don't have reels or stories, your weekly wellness show, group engagement, warm-up, or lead capture. Content is the engine that drives visibility, trust, and readiness online.
Mm-hmm. And this is why so many people feel stuck, not because they're not trying, but because they don't have a content strategy that tells them what to say, how to say it, and what it's for.
Right, so let's start here. Content is the backbone of your entire audience growth formula. Again, because without content, you don't have real stories and all that. So we know that.
Mm-hmm. And content is the engine that drives visibility, trust, and readiness online. Because real people, they don't think about wellness modalities, right? They're thinking about their struggles. So it's the why am I so tired? Why am I so bloated? Why am I so irritable? Why can't I lose weight? Why do I feel off, stressed, or older overnight? If anyone's ever went to bed at a certain age and woke up 10 years older, you totally know what that feels like.
Actually, you'll notice we adjusted your newsletter at the end of December that went out, and I realized it was a little challenging for you guys to update your photo, which I believe will be fixed in this month's newsletter. See, they rebuilt the system, so we weren't able to catch up with some of the features we originally had. But you'll notice that we led in last month's newsletter with struggles, the key 3 struggles that we saw over the last year. So type in the chat if you guys liked that format. Instead of previously a newsletter was just kind of like, here's all the stuff we've done. And this time we changed it to be, these are the struggles that we saw people were leading with. And then these are the resources we made that supported that. So you'll notice we just came at from a different approach. So again, when we studied posts, conversations, and buying patterns, we noticed that the fastest growing leaders were doing something, well, different. They weren't organizing content by categories. They were organizing content around the struggle people are experiencing and living with. And that changed everything.
Yeah, and that's why we built the four attraction pathways, is to reflect on how real humans experience wellness and, of course, how they make decisions. So we rebuilt all of your YFP content around them. So Reels, the Wellness Discovery Show, 365, the Resource Center, Content Studio, everything is going to be rebuilt around the struggle part.
Right, because the pathways give you a simple framework. So a pathway, an example of that would be like metabolism and say energy. I won't get into all of them at this moment, but just to give you kind of an idea what we're talking about. They give you a simple framework to create content that speaks directly to real struggles, makes people say, hey, that's me, builds trust before you need to DM them, filters in people already searching for solutions, and makes consistency doable because you always know what to create and why.
Mm-hmm. So it's no more random posting or guessing. You get a roadmap for your reels, your stories, your show topics, group content, DMs, lead magnets, everything. Your whole warm-up flow is going to be geared towards that.
Now remember, we're creating actually most of this for you, with exception of what you're going to do on your own where you're showing yourself. But with our Content Studio, we're actually helping you do that. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed of what we're saying here, remember, we're here helping you with almost all of this. So we're just kind of letting you know this is sort of what our pathway is to do this. So here are the 4 attraction pathways. Energy and metabolism, gut and immune reset, healthy weight and body composition, hormones, longevity, and beauty. When you use these pathways, people don't just understand what you do, they feel understood by you. And that's what creates trust, attraction, and readiness. Type in the chat, what do you guys think of the 4 pathways? Let's get some feedback from you. Maybe could we just, oh yeah, we still got it on screen. So, and by the way, we have mapped each of these 4 pathways to every product in your online shop. So for every single product that we're going to be able to talk about, or if we approach it from a pathway perspective, they will link to every product in your online shop. What do we have for some, Brendan McPherson, they're spot on, excellent, perfect, thank you, Donna. Katie out there looks good, Susan, awesome.